1650, okay, is last year's price. So you are required to find a new one. Okay, simply multiply it by 112%, then you will get 1848 as the final answer. Part B, number 1. So the total ratio here is 14, okay, and the first price is 500 more than the second price, which means the difference in ratio is 4, and this 4 here represents the 500. Total price times 4 over 14 equals to 500. So by running this calculation, okay, you will get the answer will be 1750. So what's the percentage of total price is given to first price? Okay, simply take 500, okay, divide by 4, multiply by 9. Okay, the reason why you divide it by 4 is because by doing so you will find that one ratio equals to how many value. Okay, so multiply it by 100, then you will get 64.29%. Part C is the tricky one. Okay, so you are required to combine all the ratio together. So the common, okay, ratio here will be 2 and 3. By doing so, for the upper part, the 11, you are required to multiply by 3, whereby for the bottom part, the W, you are required to multiply by 2. So the ratio will goes by 33 to 6 to 20. Okay, and for men and women ratio will be 33 to 20. Question C, part 2. So the golf club has 24 members who are children. Okay, so the total ratio here will actually be 59. Okay, find the total numbers of members. So total times 6 over 59 equals to 24. Okay, this 6 here represents the numbers of children. Okay, divide it, then you will get the total members as 236. Whereby for part D, the club shop sold a box of golf ball for 20 and made a profit of 20%. So the cost times 120% equals to 20.4. So divide it, okay, then you will get the cost as 17 per box. Question 2. Okay, find angle ABD. First thing for me to identify ABD is it is a equilateral triangle. Okay, hence the value of DBA and BDA is the same. So 180 minus 48 divided by 2, then you will get angle ABD as 66. As for you to identify OBD, okay, the rules goes by OBA equals to 90 degree because from the radius intersect with any line outside of the circle. Okay, so just take 90 minus by 66, then you get 24 as the answer. Whereby for you to identify angle BCD, things that you need to know is that the side OB and OD is the same, hence ODB is also 24, and it made the minor sector value as 132. Okay, angle BCD is actually half of the value of 132, hence it is 66 as well. Lastly, for angle BED, okay, this one is actually the outer layer of the major sector. So for you to identify the major sector, simply takes 360 minus 132, then you get 228, and angle BED's value will actually be half of 228, which is 114. Next part, calculate the area of triangle BOD. Okay, this one is actually half times 15 times 15 times sine 132. So this one is the half AB sine C formula. And for the last part, give a reason why ABOD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, it is because the opposite angle add up, it becomes 180 degree. Question 3. Okay, the keyword here is that Alan drove another x plus 20 kilometer. So the rate of fuel use, okay, will be 600 divided by x plus 20. Part 2. Find the rate of fuel used by the car decreased by 1.5 liter. So the original one, which will go lesser distance, means that the rate of fuel use was higher. Okay, so just take 600 over x minus 600 over x plus 20 equals to 1.5. So by running the calculation, then you'll be able to get the equation as shown above. So with the equation above, we can now identify its A, which is 1, B is 20, and C is negative 8,000. Okay, utilize this information and substitute it into negative B plus minus square root B squared minus 4AC over 2A to identify the final answer. So from the answer that we have gotten, x will actually be 80 or negative 100. So for us to take it as a distance, it cannot be negative 100. So only 80 is qualified. So substitute 80 into the equation. Okay, and then divide it by 2. Okay, then you will get the liter per 100 kilometer as 6.75. 4A. Calculate the length of arc of this sector and give your answer as multiple of pi. Okay, so this one is actually 135 over 360 times 2 pi r, and our r here is 12. So answer will actually be 9 pi or 28.27. Question 2. Use this sector to make a cone. So the key thing here is that the base circumference will be equals to the value that we have gotten earlier, which is 9 pi or 28.27. So the base 2 pi r equals to 9 pi. So by running calculation, you'll be able to get the radius as 4.5. With that 4.5 value, we can now use Pythagoras theorem to identify h, which in our case is 11.12 after the calculation. So part B of this question, okay, I actually drew it down there. Okay, as you can see, there's a bigger triangle and a smaller ones. Okay, so the base will actually be 15, and the hypotenuse is x plus 20, x plus 35. Whereby for the smaller triangle, it actually be 8, and the hypotenuse is x. So by running the comparison, you'll be able to identify the total hypotenuse as 75. Whereby for part 2, calculate the total surface area of outside of the planned pot. So first thing that I calculated is the pi RL, okay, which is pi times 15 times 75. Whereby for the smaller ones, it is pi times R times L equals to pi times 8 times 4D. Okay, so find that difference, okay, then you will get 805 pi. However, this is not the end, because the bottom of the pot you're also required to calculate. So we have a pi r square over there, so it is 64 pi. So add them both up, then you will get 869 pi, which is equivalent to 2730 cm squared. And for part C, keyword here, proportional, and cube of the base radius. So m equals to k r cube. So substitute the value in, then you'll be able to identify the k, which is a scale factor here, as 16. And the equation will goes by m equals to 16 r cube. Then substitute the value in to calculate the ratio of their masses. Okay, so 16 times 2 cube to 16 times 3 cube. So the lowest term will be 8 to 27. Question 5, pretty straightforward. Simply substitute the value of -2 and 3 into the equation given. By doing so, you'll be able to construct the line here. Okay, by drawing a suitable tangent, find an estimate gradient of the graph at the point 1, 11. So simply draw down a tangent line, okay, from the point, then select 2 points from the line itself to run the calculation. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and your final answer is negative 10.9. It has an acceptable range stated in the marking scheme. So your answer is different from mine. It is totally fine. Whereby for part D, so you are required to compare this to the original formula, okay, and then find the value of k. So they say it has two distinct solutions. So anything below 6 has only one solution, okay, when y equals to 6, okay, and when y is more than 6, okay, or k in our case, you will have 3 solutions and above. So the exact point that you have only 2 solutions is when y equals to 6. Okay. And when y equals to 6, x has 2 values, which in our case, based on my graph, it is negative 2.4 and 2 respectively. Whereby for E, simply combine the original formula with the y equals to 3x plus 1. Okay, by running the calculation, you'll be able to get A's value as negative 5, B value as negative 1, and C value as 12. For question 6 part A, they actually want you to prove that AB is 138 km. So simply use the cosine rule, okay? Then you'll be able to identify the answer. Whereby for part B, the bearing of the Coast Guard Station C from ship A, okay, is 146. Okay, then we utilize the sine rule to identify BAC. Okay, by running the calculation, you'll be able to get angle CAB as 36.24. Okay, so simply take 146 minus 36.24, then you'll be able to get the bearing as 109.76. Whereby for part C, okay, this one we are actually using the cosine to identify the answer. Okay, so cosine 66 equals to adjection over hypotenuse. So distance to the lighthouse will actually be 18.79. Question 7a. Okay, simply find the midpoint of the group, okay, and multiply it by the respective frequency. So I actually made a mistake here, and the right mean should be 316. Okay, the reason being is that at the group 350 to 400, I actually written it down as 475. Okay, so do take note on this mistake. Okay, and the final mean will actually be 360. As for the next one, calculate and construct the frequency density. Okay, so what I usually do is I check the information given by the table itself. Okay, I usually calculate the group that was given first. So the first one actually 5 over 100. Okay, so by running a calculation, you will know that there's no scale factor involved. Okay, then you can proceed to the drawing. So for the group between 200 to 300, it will be 9 over 100. So the value will actually be 0.009. Okay, so you can just run the calculation and draw down the histogram. Part B. So they want you to write comparison. Okay, so as you can see from this graph, okay, the range for adults is lesser because it is 500 minus 200, whereby for the students it is 500 minus 0, so the range is greater. Okay, whereby for number 2, it will be the mean of the students is actually lower than adults. So you can construct it by stating the mean of adults is higher, and because they has a greater mass. Question 8a, she sell at least 100 biscuits. So x is more than equals to 100. Okay, but for number 2, she sell at least 120 cake. So y more than equals to 100. Sell a maximum of 300 biscuits and cakes all together. So x plus y less than equals to 300. So she make a profit of 40 cents and 80 cents, okay, for biscuits and cake, and make at least 160. So 0.4x plus 0.8y more than equals to 160. So by getting rid of the decimal point, then you will be able to prove that x plus 2y more than equals to 400. Whereby for part B, okay, x is more than equals to 100, y is more than equals to 120. So I construct the horizontal and vertical line first, okay, then I calculate the remaining two lines. Okay, things to take note is that all the line will be solid line because they are more than equals to and less than equals to. So x plus y equals to 300, y equals to 300 minus x. Okay, so I said that when x equals to 100 and 200, y's value will be 200 and 100 respectively. So with that being said, we are now able to draw out the graph, okay, and repeat for the same step, okay, for x plus 2y equals to 400. Okay, now that you have constructed the line, you can now list down the range of it, which is R. So there's a minor mistake here, okay, I've already included in the graph. So for part C, okay, CMA's maximum profit will be when x equals to 100 and y equals to 200, okay, which is highest point of the region R over there. Okay, by running the calculation, you will get the maximum profit as 200. So question 9a, so simply substitute 3x and negative 2x into their respective bracket, and you will get the final answer as x bracket negative 3x plus 4. Okay, whereby for part B, I extracted 3w from the front part, okay, and left a balance of 2 plus y. And the same thing for the back, I extracted negative 2x and left a balance of 2 plus y. So now you can rearrange and get the final answer of 3w minus 2x bracket 2 plus y. Whereby for part 2, okay, the a here will actually be 2x, whereby for b it will be 5y. So utilizing the formula a squared minus b squared, then you get a minus b, a plus b as the answer. Whereby for part C, okay, first I changed 16 into 2 to the power of 4, and the denominator 9x to the power of 4 into 3 square x power of 4. Then I substituted the negative 3 over 2 into the power, okay, and I have a balance of 2 to the power of negative 6 over 3 to the power of negative 3 and x to the power of negative 6. I shift their place to get the answer of 3 to the power of 3, x to the power of 6 over 2 to the power of 6. And the final answer will be 27x to the power of 6 over 64. For part D, n is an integer. Okay, explain why 2n minus 1 is an odd number. Because 2 is an even number and minus the results generated by itself will result in odd number. So you can simply substitute any numbers into the n, then you will get odd number. So write down the equation in terms of n to the next odd number after 2n minus 1. So simply plus 1. Okay, and it becomes 2n plus 1 to get the right answer. Whereby for part 3, okay, show that the difference between the square of the consecutive odd number is a multiple of 8. So simply take 2n plus 1 square minus 2n minus 1 square. So your answer will be 8n. So by doing so, you prove that it is a multiple of 8. Question 10a, so to find the PQ, simply takes 5 square plus bracket negative 8 square. So the answer will be square root 89 and the value will be 9.43. Okay, Q is the point of 2, negative 3. So simply takes 2 minus 5, negative 3 plus 8. Okay, it is because for you to find point P, you are required to change it into QP. So for the X, which is 5, you are required to change it into negative 5. Whereby for the negative 8, you are required to change it into positive 8. Part B, vector question. So OM's value will, okay, you're required to find OM's value. Okay, so before we do that, okay, we key in the information first given by the question. So A, M, okay, and MB is half of the value of AB because M is the midpoint, whereby for ON and NB, it is 1 over 3 OB and 2 over 3 OB respectively. So OM's value, first you need to calculate the AB's value first. So AB actually AO plus OB, which is negative A plus B. And OM's value will be OA plus AM, which is A plus half of AB's value that we calculated earlier. So the final answer will be half bracket A plus B. Whereby for you to identify OL, okay, OL is half of OM. Okay, as stated by the question, L is the midpoint of OM. So just take OL equals to half of the previous value that we have gotten. So it will be 1 over 4 A plus B. Whereby for question C, for you to find AL, so AL is actually AO plus OL. So it's negative A plus 1 over 4 A plus B. So the answer will be 1 over 4b minus 3 over 4a. Okay, whereby for you to calculate the last part, okay, first thing that I've written down is that AN equals to AO plus ON. Okay, it will be negative A plus 1 over 3B. Okay, then by running the comparison of the AL's value and AN's value, you will get the ratio as 3 to 4. Part C, okay, this one is actually an enlargement with a scale factor of -1.5 from the point of origin. So the stuff that I draw there will represent the image of A. So find a 2 times 2 matrix which represent the transformation of the map, okay, triangle A to triangle B. So this one is actually a 90-degree clockwise rotation. So the matrix goes by 0, 1, -1, 0. For the last part, question 11. So this one is actually a probability question. Okay, find 2 sweets has different flavor. So 1 minus when it is orange, okay, minus lemon, minus strawberry. So strawberry is not valid because there's only one of it. So after minusing off, you will get 19/28 as the answer. For part B, chooses third sweet. Find the probability that none of the sweets is lemon flavored. So there's only 3 possible outcomes, which is orange, strawberry, orange, orange, strawberry, or strawberry, orange. So write down the probability, then you will get the answer as 5/28. The key things here is that, okay, after you selected one of the sweets, the total sweets in the bags will decrease. Okay, so these are the things that you need to take note. That's why there's a changes in the denominator every time I selected a sweet. So thank you for watching. I hope you find this video helpful. Okay, if you have friends that happens to stuck at solving all this past year, feel free to share our channel to them. So I wish you all the best in your exam preparation. Thank you.